One morning I was in a small town, and again it was way up north, and I wanted to start work bright and early, so I was out there as the sun was coming up, and as it threw its light on the front of the stores on the main street of town, it was a pretty sight. It always made me feel a little lonely for my own background life on the farm early in the morning. But anyway, I got there and parked the car in front of the store on the main street and waited until the stores began to open. Because that day my duties were to visit the local business folks, to give them a chance to support the work for the blind and visually handicapped in their area. And every day as I started out, I didn't know what I was going to come up against or find, or what need I would find that people had, and sometimes it used to surprise me, but also was very gratifying and made me happy because I could help and make them happy. Anyway, this day, as the stores opened, I got out of my car, and the first store on Main Street, I walked to the door just as a young girl had turned away from unlocking it and disappeared into its interior. I went in, and I saw her at the back of the store, and she was wrapping some merchandise by then. She was alone in the store. So I went up to her and told her who I was and what I was doing and gave her my card since her boss was not there. And she said to me, I will give him the card when he arrives at noon and tell him, and can you come back? And I said, oh sure, would 1 o'clock be okay? And she said, yes, fine. I thanked her and turned away and started towards the door, when suddenly she called, wait a minute, lady. So I stopped and turned around and to see why she wanted me to wait, and I met her eyes, and suddenly I saw there so much pain and fear and loneliness. And I realized that here was a young lady who had some problems. So I went back to the counter and put my briefcase on the counter and waited for her to tell me what she needed. And she said to me, I need to talk to somebody. And I said, well, your confidence is safe with me. Whatever it is, go right ahead. And then she started in. She said, I have a friend, and this friend is dominating my life in a way that I don't want him to. And I'm in a situation in which I am very deeply sorry to be in and don't want to be in, but I can't get out of it. So right away I guessed the situation of adults, of course, and the problems they can get into, especially young adults. And I said to her, well, is there any way at all that you can change this young person's mind, the young friend's mind about this situation? And she said no. And then she started to cry. And I let her weep a little while because she needed to. And then I said, well, can you speak to him, or do you want me to speak to him? She said, oh, no, he'll be very angry with me. I just need to know what I should do. I want to make up my own mind. I don't want to be in this situation, and I want to make up my own mind. I said, well, okay. I was then at a loss at what to do, even though she had not said everything in specific words. I knew what she meant, and I really felt for the young woman. And I knew that she felt trapped and didn't want to be in that situation. And then she said to me, "You're a Christian, so maybe you can help me with a bit of advice." And I said, "Well, I'm not a counselor, and but as a friend, I will tell you, my thoughts about the situation. You're not happy, so you should be out of it. You shouldn't be in this situation if you're not happy." "No," she said, "I love the Lord, and I feel terribly guilty. And I want to please the Lord, and I want to keep my friend, and I want to please him, but I want to please the Lord more." Well, that was quite a situation, and I didn't know how, actually I was at a loss at how I would approach an answer for her. I turned a little bit, and through the window, I suddenly saw the light at the intersection come on. It was a red light, and the cars were stopping, of course. And in my mind, in my thoughts came the answer of how I could help this young lady if she wanted it really bad enough. So I said to her, "Come here with me." I took her hand and took her over to the window. And I said, "Do you see that red light?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "That red light tells you to stop, doesn't it? Because there's danger there. And if you don't stop, you're in much more danger. And of course, at risk of breaking the law and being penalized for it." She said, "I know." And I said, "But look, beneath the red light, what is there?" And she looked at me for a moment, puzzled, then looked again, and she said, "Oh, there's a green arrow. That green arrow that permits us to turn right on a green light or on a red light. The green arrow permits us to turn right on a red light." I said, "Yes, that's it. You're right." So I said, "You have come to your red light in your life at this time, with this situation, and you feel that you have no way out." But I said, "There is a way out, because the Lord has provided for you a green light. You can turn away from this. But if you don't, you will have to go through the other green light when it starts, and you will be in the same situation. But right now you're stopped. Your red light is on, and the danger shown to you that if you go through this red light, you're in danger." And I said, spiritually, if you go through the red light that's stopping you now, which is your conscience, well, you will be in great danger of losing your spiritual life, perhaps. But he has a green arrow pointing right, so you can turn away. So if you take the green arrow and go right, you can go on with your life, and the danger is gone. The red light has stopped you from what you feel is against his will, and also against your conscience. So why don't you put your trust in him and take that green light, that green arrow, and go around this situation in your life, and make yourself a new life on the other side of it with him holding your hand. And he will guide you then through any other red lights of danger. And he will show you every green light that will lead you towards a peaceful, happy conscience and a better life for yourself, and perhaps even for your gentleman friend. And she looked at me, and I could see the joy in her eyes and the understanding of what had just been shown to her by the Lord, not by me. I was just there to take her to the window. You see, the Lord sometimes uses some of us to do a work perhaps no one else can do or want to do. Some people think that they are very important and that they should be doing the big jobs for the Lord. Well, hey, hang up a minute. The Lord does the big jobs for himself. But he often asks us as his children to do the small jobs, the least important jobs. Because he said that those who do the least jobs and are servants are actually the highest held in respect in his kingdom. So friends, if you find yourself facing a small little job to do, which seems very important, do it, because it is actually the biggest job in all of the universe and in God's kingdom. And God will bless you for it by giving you the biggest reward. He promised that. So, remember this story if you find yourself facing the need to do a small job for the Lord in helping someone, no matter what it is. Just go ahead and do it, and your reward shall be great. Thank you for listening.